Sorry about that, the video is broken. So okay, so the history that Tamilians believe in it, that's what I say, but though it is not given in the book, and which the Tamilians history is acknowledged worldwide, but irony is that Indians themselves do not believe in it, especially North Indians do not believe in it, and they say that Sanskrit is the most ancient religion in the world. And actually Sanskrit purposefully for intellectual people they introduced those language, okay, and that is the history. Okay, it is not the religion of common people. It is Sanskrit is not the language of common people. Nowhere in history it is not spoken by common people. It is spoken and used only by the intellectuals. Okay, for intellectuals, that particular language was created recently, and Vedas were done. Vedas were composed by those intellectuals, and when we the language which has the ability to cure our disease, our psychological problems, and when we chant those Vedas, it is good for us. For that purpose, purposefully they created the language Sanskrit. Like the Baghbali team, they themselves created a language. Rajamouli and his team created a language. Okay, and they used the language, letters, meaning of the words, everything is created by those people. Likewise, Sanskrit was purposefully created. It is not an unconscious, unconsciously the language is created. It is not like that. Okay, that's what Tamilians believe. My statement can also be easily disproved. But what Tamilians believe is that Sanskrit is a language, is not spoken by common people. Intellectuals purposefully created that language. Okay, so this history is not given, but I want to say this history. Okay, so those nomads, Vedic composers were nomads from, but they actually, in the book it is given that Vedic composers were actually Indians, but they were nomads. One day they completely destroyed the civilization, and from that Vedas became common to Indians. Okay, and Krishna's life is still not told correctly. Krishna is actually a history, is a king. Mahabharatam is actual event and actual history, and in Mahabharatam visitor Virena Pambai, so Bhishma will not, I will not be king, he promised that. So therefore Satyavati asked her daughter-in-laws to go sex with Vyasa. Okay, so those things are common when a couple do not have children. Okay, we shall go to that Swamiji, and you go sex with the husband himself will say, yes, we do not have children. Don't worry, he is a Swamiji, it is his duty. Okay, you go and have sex with Swamiji and get children. Especially in families of kings, such things would happen. Okay, I do not have male children. Only when I have male children, I can hand over my empire to my son. So I don't have male children, so you go and have sex with Swamiji and have male children. Okay, so such things are there in history. Sex hospitality was common in those days. Okay, if there is a king, okay, he simply comes and lives in common house. Okay, then the husband should give his wife to the king for 1 day or 2 days. They are all common things. Okay, so sex hospitality was a common thing. That is hospitality through sex, giving respect. Okay, giving good food, having serving them. That is, I think hospitality is basic word. You all know the meaning. But sex hospitality having sex and giving the hospitality to the guest were common. Okay, even the movie Dharala Prabhu, Vivek said that those things are common. If you do not, when a couple do not have children, then the wife will have sex with Swamiji, and then they will have children. Such things were common in those days. Okay, so and let's say Mahabharatam and what is it, Rama, though history were very ancient history. Those history were before Ice Age. That's what Devadat Patanak says. 15,000 years ago, those histories were written. Okay, Ramayana, Mahabharatam, Trojan War, those histories were written before 15,000 years, even before Ice Age. Okay, the European historians also say that in Ice Age, that is in Ice Age, elephants were created in the process of evolution, and elephants they had fibers. In the movie Ice Age, you would have seen. Okay, the elephants have fibers. They have நிறைய முடி பெருசு பெருசா அப்படி they were large in size. Now the elephant we see is shorter one, and they do not have fibers. So in Ice Age, those animals were there. Even Ice Age, humans lived. There are evidences also. Okay, so those history were written even before Ice Age. Okay, and they had sophisticated technology, and they had communications with the aliens also. They had sophisticated technology like telepathy, astrology. They were able to predict future perfectly. Okay, and they know the concept of telepathy, and they know those technology. They had communications with aliens also. Okay, and Plato talked about Atlantis. Atlantis, there is actual island, there is actual continent over there. Okay, there is actual continent called Atlantis. Atlantis is a place all people lived, all good people lived, and they lived harmoniously. It is like heaven. That is the concept told by Plato. We have to lead. We have to change the Greek empire into Atlantis. Like that is what Plato say. But here Devadat Patanak says that Atlantis is actually not an imaginary one said by Plato. Those people lived. Okay, and so science fiction is an offshoot from antediluvian, that is myth. Okay, science fiction is completely exact to myth, but there are some similarities, that is telepathy or aliens, invasion of aliens. Myth say that they are true, but the science says that they are fiction. Okay, so this is the main problem. In Egypt also there are traces that I mean there are pictures, there are true pictures. I saw in National Geographic Channel also. Exactly like spacecraft, they came, and with their idea and with their technology only they built a pyramid, and they often communicated with those aliens, and they were surprised how this can happen. But here Devadat Patanak says aliens came to India, to the world, and they had communications. Likewise, they say, but their real history. Okay, and in Ramayanam, Pushpa Kavamana, that is airplane. He might have Rama, and Ravana might have used airplane in those days. Okay, that's what Devadat Patanak says. So before 50,000 years ago, we do not know what is the true thing, but they had the technology which we do not have, like telepathy or aeroplane or aliens. Those technologies today we do not have. Definitely those technology, humans used those technology. That's why in myth those things are there. The concept of aeroplane in Ramayana, Mahabharatam, and aliens in Egypt. Those things are there. Therefore, before 15,000 years ago, there would have been aliens. They would have used sophisticated technologies. Such things would have been true. And now the next topic is strategic characters. Okay, so strategic characters, narratives are strategic to make people think in a particular way that helps to maintain peace in society. So the main purpose of myth is that it helps to people to think in a particular way. Important point. The main purpose of learning myth is to make people to think in a particular way, to make people to lead a disciplined life. Then only peace could be maintained in society. If all people do not think in a particular way, let's say Christianity came from Europe, okay, when all the Europeans follow Christianity, they can lead a harmonious life. When all people believe in one particular thing, one particular God, one particular scripture, they can live a peaceful life. For that purpose, myths were constructed, and we have to follow it. Simply, we cannot question everything. Then peace cannot maintain in society. Okay, so therefore, myth should be believed. Okay, so to talk about Lakshmi, Lakshmi is whimsical and fickle. That is, her mind is not stable. Lakshmi is the god of wealth. Lakshmi is goddess of wealth. So if you want wealth, you should worship Lakshmi. Okay, so if you want wealth, Lakshmi should be worshipped. And Lakshmi is the wife of, Lakshmi is wife of Lord Vishnu. Okay, she always there at the feet of Vishnu. When Vishnu lies down on the snake, and Lakshmi is there at the feet of Vishnu. And why? Because Lakshmi is goddess of wealth, and all people should think that wealth should be at her feet. Wealth should not be given importance. Okay, moksha is the ultimate aim. For that, Shiva helps a lot. Therefore, Shiva should be worshipped. And when we want to get moksha, we have to live. And therefore, our life is protected because of Vishnu. Therefore, Vishnu should be worshipped. But when we simply ignore moksha, then problems will come. And when we give importance to wealth, problems will come. Okay, if you want wealth, then at that point we have to worship Lakshmi. Okay, so but Devdutt Pattanaik says this symbol, that is Lakshmi is portrayed as a woman and Vishnu is portrayed as a man. Naturally, this implies patriarchy. Slowly and steadily, this will if this picture is continuously worshipped, then male dominance will spread. Okay, that's what happened in India also. Okay, but the problem is women should give birth. When women is giving birth, by nature she cannot think about moksha, because she has the ability to give birth to children, and she should naturally, the child is attached to mother, and therefore women in those days, women cannot move from one place to another just like that. And let's say because of the periods, and on those days they don't have technology, and she should be protected. When she is protected, she needs men's help, and men cannot. When they want to attain moksha, women is a barrier. Okay, by nature, women think women's thinking and women's mentality, and they are practical. Women are practical. But thinking about philosophy, what is this? What is this sky? What is this birds? What are all these crows? Likewise, when you think in that way, it is nature to think in that way. But it is nature for women to think what can I cook today morning, and what kind of dress I can wear. Okay, this is the mentality of women, and this is in no way helpful to get moksha. Okay, that's what Indian mythology believe. Okay, and this statement could be easily disproved, but when they constructed such kind of stories, male dominance spread all over India, and female were enslaved, women were enslaved. So that's how women were enslaved, especially this picture. Saraswati and Lakshmi. Of course, Devi is considered to be superpower. From Devi only Vishnu, Shiva and Brahma came. Okay, and though Devi is mother of these three gods, she herself married Shiva. Okay, that is said to be Indian mythology. And a mother having sex with her own sons were common in those days. Okay, in animals also, for animals also those things happen, but today it cannot be made. Okay, in those days they were common. Okay, so marrying brothers and sisters were common in those days. Okay, so when women have this mentality, and therefore Lakshmi is a goddess of wealth, and we should not give importance to wealth. To convey this philosophy, to convey this fact, goddess Lakshmi is at the feet of Vishnu. Okay, but slowly and steadily this led to patriarchy. Okay, and the concept of chaste women is given importance. The concept of chaste women is given importance. Who are all the women called as chaste? Karpakarasi. What is the definition of chaste women? That is, from the heart, the woman should think only about her husband. She should obey. Obeying the words of husband is very important. Okay, obeying the words of husband is very important. Those women were glorified, and those women we should worship. Okay, Sita, Mandodari. Mandodari is wife of Ravana, and Draupadi. All these women worshipped their husband and obeyed their husband like anything. Draupadi actually married Arjuna, and Arjuna says, marry my brothers also. And being women and being a chaste woman, she should not disobey her husband's words. Therefore, my husband asked me to marry his own brother, let me marry them. So this is the concept. The chaste women were worshipped, and they became very popular. And but actually this problem, this led to female enslavement. Okay, that is history. Okay, so many myths were written celebrating the chaste women. That is, women should obey their husband. Okay, blindly they should obey. They are like slaves to their husband. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay, but actually this the severe patriarchy. Okay, let me stop here. Let me continue in next video tomorrow. Okay, thank you.